Welcome to another stage analysis video. It is Sunday the 28th of January 2024. Running a little bit late tonight, so apologies. Gonna get up and running now. We're gonna start off not with the major index charts for a change. Gonna flick back here. We're actually gonna start off going through the watch list stocks, which I normally do last in the video before. Change it up for a little bit. Start with what's been going on with the weekend watch list stocks in this regard. So starting off with SE here. So this at the moment what we call a potential stage 4B minus. You can see the classic Wyckoff structural characteristics as this come in. We had this earnings gap down here in a little selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test type move. We had an up thrust, then it's moving through and it started to build this base structure at the bottom here, and we've had a spring type action at the bottom here and starting to move back out again, back to the top of this more local structure within the broader base that's been developing since August here. So you can see there's a little bit of a change of behavior going on in this area. We're just sitting up around what we call the plus 180R level here, which is 180R above the 21-day exponential moving average here. So potential for a short-term trend change within this structure. You can see we're just back above the 50-day moving average for 4 days here. So stage 4B minus is a short-term swing traders kind of entry area within the base structure. You start to get back above that 50-day moving average and we look for a move back towards the 200-day moving average. So it's a bit more of a short-term move, something that we look for as the stock is potentially bottomed. It may still continue in stage 4, but it's technically too early to be considered stage 1 yet. So we're looking for that move from the bottom in stage 4 into early stage 1, and so that point can sometimes get a good quick swing trade out in there. If we go to the weekly chart on this, you can see we've been in a big stage 4 decline for a long while. It started to develop a stage 1 base structure, even attempted a stage 2 breakout through this area, but then failed, came back underneath that 30-week moving average, made a continuation breakdown in stage 4. So it's attempting to build this new base structure through here, which on the daily chart we were just looking at, but you can see it's still underneath that declining 30-week moving average. So it wouldn't be considered stage 1 until it starts getting back above this 30-week moving average here and starts clearing through the structure. You can see we're still even under the 2022 swing low there. So still a major area of resistance above from these levels through here. So potentially it could quickly turn to stage 2 if it does move back through that 30-week moving average low. So the top of the structure here through this areas. So we start to move back through here, starts to build some kind of base. We could actually start to see the 30-week moving average turn back up, and it could then turn to stage 2. So, but at the moment, still only what we call 4B minus. These 4B minuses fail all the time. They're just short-term moves, could quickly turn back into the base and quickly make a continuation break in stage 4 lower. But it is as I said, a potential swing trader opportunity, as you can get some decent runs from these kind of areas. So a run up from here is a 25-27% move at the moment. So not dramatic, but you could get a run up towards that 200-day moving average, which then could start to see it turning towards stage 1, start to build some kind of base structure. Might even come all the way back down again, but you never know. At these points, it's more opportunistic point. So this one is deeply in stage 4 for a long time now, so there's going to be a lot of overhead resistance. So as I said, one for the swing traders only. It's still too early to be considered for the investor method at the moment. APPF, so Appfolio, made a stage 2 continuation breakout on earnings. You can see the earnings reaction was the biggest volume we've seen for a long time here. So it's exceptional volume compared to what it's seen over the course of the last 9 months on this chart here. If I go to a weekly chart on this one, you can see it's actually the biggest weekly volume it's had in years. So it's been in stage 2 for a while now, made the stage 2 breakout back in October 2022 here. Started to move higher, bit of a grind, had a failed initial move and then made a continuation move, chopped out a couple of times before finally getting going. And so it's been going sideways for a little while now, started to see a little bit of a change as it started to come back through these areas, but now making that continuation breakout, even at a shake at this point, which a lot of stocks had in the latter part of the year here, so was a bit later than most though. So shook out with a stage 4 attempt, but quickly reversed in spring type action, has now followed through to new highs. So exceptional volume on that one at the moment. pushing out. So let's go back to the normal chart. So another one, Intuit, has been moving higher in stage 2 since July now. So had this double bottom move through the September October period when the majority of the market was pulling back. We saw the market pull back through August to late October. So it was showing some good relative strength during that period, was still increasing in relative strength as it moved higher. Had its little shakeout with a double bottom and then made a continuation breakthrough here. It's now attempting over the last week to make a further continuation breakout, still 10% below the 2021 high. Start to score a 10 at the moment, which is the maximum score on the weekly chart at the moment. So indicates a little bit extended, but as you can see from that 2021 high, still got some room to run here and not too far above the 10-week moving average, but a little bit more extended from that 30-week moving average at the moment. So continuing its good run in stage 2 since started back here in March 2023. Again, had a potential little shakeout here, would have got close to being stopped out on the investor method at that point with that spring, then came back through again and returned back to stage 2 again. So continuing higher in stage 2 at the moment. Still interesting as the market continues to push towards the highs at the moment. CLSK, so one of the crypto stocks, we've got a bunch of those popping up in the watch list this weekend as Bitcoin attempts to make a little bit of a rebound over the weekend. So starting to see the crypto stocks turn. You've got CLSK, Mara, Riot, all those kind of ones, MSTR and multiple others. They came off a lot since that Bitcoin ETF was announced, so literally halved in a matter of weeks. So rebounding back up, lots of potential with this if it can start to get back above the 50-day moving average again, as have huge moves leveraged to what's going on with Bitcoin itself. So if Bitcoin does start to strengthen, then we could see these stocks, the crypto miners, start to rebound once more. But obviously if Bitcoin fails, then these will suffer a lot. So definitely much more speculative and only for the swing traders really. So SWI, interesting one here with a change of behavior back at the start of November through here, regained its stage 2. So it was moving higher in stage 2 but started to roll over, started to see some stage 3, even a quick stage 4 attempt, which then reversed back up again, a bit of a shakeout move down here. Then we had that change of behavior, potential was an earnings bar on that one, and then started to push back up higher into stage 2 again. So you can see a little bit of tightening up at the moment, a little bit of volatility contraction through here. So tight over the last week, so looking for a continuation attempt. Got earnings coming up on the 8th flow, so what's that, it's just over in not next week, the week after, so close to earnings at the moment. You can see the volatility has definitely tightened up a bit on this one if we look at the weekly chart. So looking for that continuation in stage 2 higher. It's been moving higher in stage 2 back here since May. As I said, had a shakeout back through here in the latter part of September into October before recovering into stage 2 again. So it's been a difficult one with multiple failed stage 2 attempts through the year. So this is its third attempt to move higher in stage 2, and it's been making progress for a couple of months now. So looking for this to continue. LSPD, another one that's been had an interesting structure develop over the course of the last year. So you can see the failed stage 2 attempt back here. So highlight this area through into July last year. We're rolling back through the 200-day moving average. Had a shakeout at the end of October before the earnings reaction put it back up to its 50-day moving average. We saw that change of behavior, change of character, and then into a stage 2 breakout. So now potentially in a backup range, a little bit of a double bottom base going on at the moment here. So we start to see it push back up through this area, then could get interesting again at the moment. If we go to the weekly chart on this one, you can see the big base structure that's been developing over the course of the last year. See the broader structure, it's still within that broader range. So even though it's technically in stage 2 at the moment, so it's started to push out. It's been in stage 2 for a little while through here, but still within this broader structure and hasn't yet cleared the multiple resistance levels through there. You can see the 2022 initial low down there, which was a base for multiple months. We're still just sitting below that at the moment, so if we can start to push back through this $20 level, then could get very interesting, this one. So as I said, early in stage 2, potentially in the backup zone. One way we deal with backups in the stage analysis method is to use a multiple time frame approach. So you can drop down the time frames. So when you're on a daily chart, for an example here, you can tend to see if you imagine it on an intraday time frame, you can see the stages happening on an intraday time frame. So we'll halve this chart, so we go to a 195 minute chart. So there's 390 minutes in a typical trading day. So you can do stage analysis on this, and then you can drop down to the 2 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, etc. You can see the stage 2 through here started to turn to stage 3 and never actually dropped into stage 4, a few bars where it started to pull back up again. So technically the moving average starting to turn back around again. We've got a stage 3 rolling over but never getting to 4, so this could start to turn back into 1 again and could turn back to stage 2 again. So we start to get a move up through the recent pivot highs through here, through this 19.5 area, then that could get interesting. Again, you can drop down to a lower level here, so we go to a 2 hour chart. You can see the structure developing across here, which would now be considered stage 1, a little bit of a shakeout at the bottom of the range here. So looking for a sign of strength for stage 2 breakout around this 19.25 to 19.5 area there on the 2 hour, and you can, like I said, you can go lower, down to the 1 hour, down to your 30 minute, etc. It gets more noisy the lower you go. I tend to start with the 195 minute chart when looking for the backup entry areas. So, but it's always useful to do, as it can help you not get into a stock too early, because you never know how far it's going to pull back. You never know if it's just going to continue dropping and fail completely. So we look to those lower time frames, then you look for the breakout on that lower time frame as a stage 2 breakout. Ideally we want to see the same kind of characteristics. So if it does break out on that 195 minute chart, so if we've got a big breakout through this area through here, we'd want to see strong volume on the breakout as well, ideally. So I've seen a few, this breakout bar here for example, you can see there was a good volume, well, not actually on that bar, it was on the previous bar, but started to see some volume come through in that area. So technically it's generally what you're looking for. You want to see some volume start to pick up as you move out into the breakout itself, but don't always get it. So light speed is another interesting one.